I'm Richard Jack Smith of Real Talk Movie Reviews. You know, I'd never considered myself a Trekkie in the strictest sense until I picked up the music for the original series of Star Trek. This was released by La La Land Records. It's 15 CDs and it features the likes of Alexander Courage, George Dooning, Jerry Fielding and many others. And while there's some outstanding music throughout this set, not every CD was worth its weight in gold, unfortunately. Now, there were 3 seasons originally of Star Trek, and in season 2 the trouble begins. At the end of each set there's a 5th disc which contains a lot of library cues and outtakes, which for the completionist it might be fine, but for the average listener I think it will just be too repetitious. And season 3 has some of the weakest music, especially disc 1 and disc 5. There are themes there, kind of like a Western influence, occasionally Arabic, which might suit the context from which it comes from, but doesn't really work as a standalone experience. Now, I took my time listening to all of the music over a number of weeks, so this was quite a process to go through the different stages of music for the original Star Trek. And indeed, I found there were many highlights. The Corbomite manoeuvre, for example, and Metamorphosis, the love theme in the latter, were excellent, absolutely amazing experiences. But then we get to something like The Trouble with Tribbles, which was Jerry Fielding's contribution among certain other episodes he worked on, which felt a little clownish, wasn't particularly to my liking, wasn't my cup of tea. La La Land Records have brought out this holy grail of soundtrack releases, limited to 6,000 units, and I was lucky enough to pick up a second-hand copy of it on eBay a while back. But this was my first complete playthrough. I'd gotten about 2/3 of the way through the first time I tried getting through it all, but like I said, there's over 15 hours of music here, so as you can imagine it's quite intimidating to go through all of that in one fell swoop. So I took my time. I'd listen to 1, maybe 2 CDs a week over a number of months and get through it that way, and I made notes along the way. But I decided that I wanted to do this review in a kind of off the cuff manner, just to give you my immediate impressions, for it was only a couple of hours ago that I finished the 15th and last CD, which I again found to be one of the weakest. I would say that it's important for Star Trek collectors to get this. I don't think all of the music included is essential. The sound quality, now that's one thing I absolutely cannot fault. They did an incredible job mastering all this, editing it all, labelling it all up. The liner notes, now I don't often talk about liner notes, and I probably should. Very, very good, brief yet insightful. Again, this will have different layers of value depending on whoever is seeking it out. At the moment, as you can see, it's out of print, so those 6,000 units obviously didn't go very far, so we might expect a reissue at some point with more copies available, and then there's always a second-hand market, but that can get really expensive. Like I say, I was quite lucky in getting this a bit cheaper than its listing price when I purchased it on eBay a while back, and I'm glad this was something that I felt compelled to get. It was expensive, so sure I had to save up and get it, but I'm glad I did, and there are some absolutely incredible sonic experiences here which you just got to check it out. I give Star Trek the original series, composed by multiple artists, 4 out of 5 stars. I think you'll find something in there to like. For more film and soundtrack reviews, please visit Betty Jo Tucker's website, Real Talk Movie Reviews. On Facebook you'll find my pages, Hip-Notic Movie Reviews and Hip-Notic Soundtrack Reviews. You can also find me on Twitter at mbeanfan101. I am Richard Jack Smith. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, maybe subscribe, and I will see you next time.